leaders better. Let's jump in. Howdy, welcome back to 1 Minute Wins. I am Dr. Dana Martin, and this is the podcast that focuses on simple, intentional actions that can strengthen your leadership and your life. And today's principle, episode 27, correlating and corresponding with 1 Minute Win 27 in the book 1 Minute Wins. Today's principle comes from Max De Pree, who wrote, "The first responsibility of a leader is to define reality." And let's think about that for just a second here. Before the strategy, before the motivation, before the vision comes truth. A leader's job starts with clarity. What's really happening right now? Because you can't fix what you don't face. Clarity is it's air. It's leadership oxygen, and without it, your team's going to suffocate in confusion. And when leaders ignore problems or sugarcoat the truth, people around them stop trusting their words. Defining reality doesn't mean being negative. It means being accurate. It means being factual. You can't move people forward until everyone sees where they are, where here really is. And whether it's business KPIs, business metrics, your marriage, your mindset, clarity comes before progress. Years ago, I worked side by side with a leadership team in my organization, and they couldn't understand why employee engagement continued to drop. They insisted, we have pizza Fridays and they can wear their Hawaiian shirts. Not a joke. We recognize their birthdays and we do a monthly birthday cake. When we looked close, we discovered that employees were drowning in unclear priorities. They had like 6 top projects and none of them were finished or even close to being finished. The leaders, they weren't facing the reality and they were kind of decorating dysfunction. I love that. I think we're going to have a book called Decorative Dysfunction and what that looks like in an office setting. You could probably imagine. But after real data conversions and a hard look at the workload, they cut those priorities in half and engagement shot up 40% within 6 months. Reality first, results second. Once we know where we are, we can move forward to where we want to go. According to Gallup's State of American Workplace report, only about 50% of employees know what's expected of them at work. Half of the employees know what's expected of them at work. Half of the workforce is guessing. Half? Sorry, I can't get past this. Half? That's not an employee issue. That is a leadership issue. Squarely on the leadership. When expectations are vague, performance is going to suffer. And when leaders define reality, that's where we are, that's what matters and what success looks like, then productivity can dramatically rise. John Maxwell says you cannot change your reality until you control your reality. That truth applies everywhere, not just in the workspace, but personally. People and leaders who confront facts with honesty lead teams that ultimately trust them. Those who avoid the reality create cultures of confusion and wondrously aiming no direction. And when you're willing to say, here's what's really happening, it's a mirror. And you're inviting accountability. You're not assigning blame. I once coached a manager, and she felt her team wasn't really good on follow through. and she blamed her inexperience at motivation techniques. So she came to me asking, how do you motivate your team? And I started with, let's take a look at what you're saying first. And we looked at her weekly communication, and she quickly realized she was assigning tasks in water cooler talks or hallway conversations or over a coffee in the break room. There was no follow up, no clear instruction, no clear due dates. And so the problem really wasn't the effort or being motivated that they weren't doing the job. It's there was no clarity. So she began sending these asks in a very concise recap email, real simple, after every meeting, even if it was in the hallway. 3 bullet points, 1 deadline, that sort of thing. And within a month, projects stopped slipping. Why? Because the leader defined the reality and the confusion melted away. So how do we make this practical every day? This is a big one. So we got four today. Number 1, start with facts, not feelings. List what's true, not what's convenient, and numbers and feedback, timelines. Get specific. Number 2, name the gap. Ask that question of where are we versus where do we want to be, or where should we be? Number 3, communicate clearly. State the expectations in plain language. Give the who, the what, the when, the why. Maybe even sometimes the how. And number 4, invite input. Clarity grows when everyone in their diversity can speak truth in a safe environment. That's where true connection and collaboration happens. So what are those 4? Number 1, start with facts, not feelings. Number 2, name the gap. Number 3, communicate clearly. And number 4, invite input. Because the best leaders make reality safe to discuss. So, have you clarified reality for yourself or your team? What truth are you avoiding because it may feel uncomfortable? Remember that honesty with yourself, honesty with others builds trust faster than comfort ever will. So, communicate one clear expectation or truth before the day ends. That might mean having a hard conversation. It might mean resetting a goal. It may simply be acknowledging something. We're not where we want to be yet, and that's okay. We start with truth, and progress will follow. Reality is the foundation of vision. You can't paint a masterpiece on a fogged up window. And once you wipe it clean with clarity, you can see the path forward and help others see it too. Defining reality isn't harsh, it's hopeful. It says we can fix this because we're facing it. Leadership begins with honesty and ends with trust. Define the reality, communicate it clearly, and then be the example of what it looks like to lead with truth. You've been listening to 1 Minute Wins with Dr. Dana Martin. Visit dmilm.com for more growth tools, or find my book at Amazon. 1 Minute Wins. Take control of your growth journey 1 minute at a time. Like, subscribe. If this resonated with you, leave a comment and we'll talk about it on air. Always remember, be the example.